That's all that remains. All right, what's up, guys? Let's start with the head coaches. So this game is the first big championship for Bruce Arians. He was actually involved with the I think he was an offensive coordinator, I think that's right, with the Steelers, the 2005 team, or like offensive line coach or something like that. So he actually does have a ring with the Steelers. And he's another interesting thing about Bruce Arians is he was actually an assistant. He was a position coach with the Chiefs, 89 to 92. So he was actually there during the Christian Okoye Nigerian Nightmare, and Barry Word, UVA fans remember him, era. So that's something that's a little storyline that nobody has talked about. Assist under Marty Schottenheimer. Thoughts and prayers are with him today. So this will be his first as a head coach, and this is the third for Andy Reid. Of course, he's 1-1. Lost with the Eagles, won last year with Kansas City. He also got a ring. He actually has 2 rings because he got one last year, but he got one in '96 as the Packers like offensive line slash tight ends coach, I think. Imagine, Holmgren and Reed on the sidelines. That takes up a lot of real estate on the sidelines. Fat. When it comes down, these two coaches have similarities. So their similarities are, as far as the offense, I mean, they're offensive guys, but and they're also fat. But I think the main thing they have in common is they're not timid with their game plan, especially their scripted first 10 to 15 plays. They're gonna stick with it, and that's also stands with goes along with the 2 offensive coordinators, Bieniemy and the other guy. Forget the guy for Leftwich. They are, they both are like that too. So I think you're going to see some, at least early, you're going to see teams that you're going to see both teams sticking with their game plan, not afraid to just wing it. Put the ball in the air, connect. So we could see some high score in the first quarter. All right, so the other thing, I want to go ahead and unpack this whole issue about the matchup of the Chiefs line, offensive line, versus Tampa Bay. So this seems to be the one glaring weakness people are bringing up. As far as the Kansas City Chiefs go, injuries to the line. You have, of course, Fisher. Then there's the other guard, who was a great starter last year. I think he was a rookie, and he's out also. There's also a backup center or something who might be out, but that's not very consequential to the game. But I look at the front office of Kansas City, just the job they've done, and this is what great front offices do, just building the depth, and that line is not that bad. It's good. They're going to be ready to go. They have good football players on that line, so I don't believe that will be a detrimental issue to the Chiefs. Now, as far as the Buccaneers defense goes, nobody should mistake the 2020 Buccaneers with the 2000 Ravens. Okay, I don't think anyone's doing that, but they're okay. To be fair, they are at least putting them in the same breath as the 2007 New York Giants, which was not one of the great defenses of all time, but it was a defense that got hot down the stretch. They were dominant in the playoffs. Yeah, they were dominant, and they did take care of the undefeated Patriots. This Buccaneers defense is not even, can't be compared to that team. Okay, they are good at best. All right, that defensive line is not going to dominate. And Ndamukong Suh is average. Jason Pierre-Paul, he was great at one time, but now he is a pretty good pass rusher. I mean, he can be a force, but he's not going to scare, you know, he's not going to like scare the heck out of the Chiefs. Okay. So that, yeah, I believe, is a push. The Buccaneers defense, yeah, just to put a little perspective into things, Patrick Mahomes put up like 200 yards in one quarter against this Tampa defense earlier in the year. Okay. Taylor Heineke recently went up and down the field on Tampa Bay in the postseason. Okay, so let that sink in before you start talking about how great this Buccaneers defense is, boys. So a couple of things that Tampa Bay needs offensively to come out on top in this game. One would be, let's look at the receivers for Tampa Bay. Now, the way I see it, the Chiefs have the personnel in the secondary to keep these receivers from getting long touchdowns. Okay, you're not gonna see them burn that secondary and get massive plays. That's something that they're gonna focus on, the Chiefs defense. I mean, this will leave open spots for Gronkowski. Now, 5 years ago, that would be a major concern for the Chiefs. But now, Gronkowski's not the same player. He'll get a few catches, but he's not gonna beat them all day like he would have had the chance to do, you know, back in like 2015 or so. Maybe they've got maybe the backup tight end is maybe a wild card here. Could be something in who's, you know, moves the chains a little bit, but that's a possibility. However, the Buccaneers' red zone offensive efficiency it was good in the regular season, not good in the postseason. They have not been able to punch it in when they get down there. They've been settling for too many field goals, and that's not good. So the Chiefs win the battle there. The other thing they need, and this is even more important, would be the keeping the Chiefs offense off the field by owning the time of possession. Well, that's kind of cliche, but this is very important in this game. The Buccaneers don't have the running game to do this. I mean, there's a chance they do, but they don't have the dominant running game to efficiently do that in this game. So as the running game stalls a little bit, you're going to see them rely more on throwing the ball. This will lead to more punts. On the flip side of that, you're going to see Kansas City converting most of their third downs, or, you know, picking up first downs on second down, just like they did against Cleveland and Buffalo, pretty much all day long, whenever they want to. So you will see an offensive juggernaut on display Sunday night, I believe. Now, so getting into a little perspective here, I kind of like the go with the history angle of this game. You have let's talk about Tom Brady. All right, so we all know this is his 10th appearance in the big game. There are a couple of previous appearances of his that this game it kind of reminds me of. The first one is, well, let's think about this. His because I was this kind of came to my mind about a week ago. I was thinking about how his Super Bowl career has come full circle in a way. So when he first came to this game, when he first appeared in this game in February of 2002, he was going against the greatest show on turf. Okay, the St. Louis Rams in New Orleans. And oh my gosh, the Rams are 14-point favorites. That's hard to believe. 14-point favorites. And that wasn't so much that people were just looking past New England, but it was they were crowning the Rams because this was one of the great offensive teams of all time. I mean, the '99 Rams were incredible. 2000 team was very good too, but Warner got injured. I think they lost the wild card that year. But the 2001 Rams, at least offensively, were even better than the '99 Rams, and they were en route to win their second title that year. And it didn't work out that way. It was I think 2017 that game. It's kind of low scoring, but so similar. This year, the team that Tom Brady is taking is going against another offensive juggernaut that's going for their second Super Bowl in recent memory. You know, trying to solidify themselves as a dynasty, which I believe they will become. And they're underdogs, not as big underdogs. It's like 3.5, but similar. Now the Chiefs defensively remind me a little bit of that Rams team. I think of Tyrann Mathieu as kind of reminds me of Aeneas Williams, Hall of Famer for the Rams, and then Chris Jones, the defensive end, reminds me a little bit of Kevin Carter, who was the best defensive lineman for the Rams then. They're both defenses that don't get a lot of credit because everyone focuses on the other side of the ball, especially the fantasy skanks. But they are a very good defensive team. Okay, now the other big game that this one reminds me of, and this one is more closely reminiscent to the one coming up Sunday, is think back to February of 2015. You had New England versus Seattle. Okay, so Tom Brady was going up against a team that was trying to repeat as world champions. They had a future Hall of Fame quarterback. Okay, so that's two things that are similar. Who was also about the same age. He was in his third season. This is technically Mahomes' fourth season, but his third as a starter, going for a repeat. Okay, the line was close. That game was actually a pick'em. Okay, this one's a 3-point game. I know most people are picking Kansas City that I'm seeing, but still, a 3-point game on the line is a close matchup. Okay, and they were the team that Brady was playing for was trying to prevent a repeat from happening, and they were able to do that because of the Pete Carroll call. So yeah, I see that Russell Wilson Brady matchup as being very similar to this one. go back to the head coaches really quick. Andy Reid is clearly the better head coach. I mean, just look at what he did to turn around. The Eagles were not a good franchise when he came in there in 1999. They had pretty much just stumbled through the 90s with Richie Kotite and Ray Rhodes there for a couple of years, and they had lost their way completely until Reid came in there and completely turned them into a powerhouse in the NFC. And then look what he did with Kansas City. Wow. Bruce Arians, I look at him, oh my gosh, just the eye test. I mean, he's just, nothing about him makes you think greatness, okay? And obviously when you compare these two, definitely give Reid the edge. Another thing about Reid is that he's looser now. He's got that monkey off his back, so the pressure isn't great like it was before. Obviously you're facing pressure in this game, but it's not as much, on a personal level as it was this time a year ago. He's not coaching not to lose anymore. I mean, you saw that in the Cleveland game with the fourth down call. I think that tells you a lot about not just the team, but just the way that Andy Reid goes about his business. So I mentioned earlier about how it's my belief that both teams will be connecting early on their offensive plays. You will have a first quarter where they're trading shots, and it's going to be 14-14 at the end of the first quarter. So it'll look really good, especially for CBS and for the NFL. Second quarter, you'll have Kansas City pull ahead a little bit. They'll get, I don't know, maybe Tampa gets a field goal, and Kansas City gets like maybe 2 touchdowns. And let me think about that for a second. Okay, I've thought about it. So they get a couple touchdowns and then they miss an extra point, because there's going to be at least one missed extra point in this game. So at the half, you've got a 27-17. So a 10-point lead for Kansas City. Okay, so even if it's like 30 to, even if it's like 30-7, Kansas City's winning. You're gonna have Romo and everybody else, Boomer or whatever, Cower going, hey, but what about don't forget Brady against the Falcons, 28-3. Yeah, but that was Dan Quinn and Matt Ryan. Okay, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are not Dan Quinn and Matt Ryan. Sorry, Andy. Yeah, so a 10-point lead in the half. Third quarter is your defensive quarter in this game. There's going to be at least one defensive quarter. Okay, so look, that's usually the second half, but I could be wrong. But I'm saying in the third quarter. Okay. Tampa pulls within a score, so they get it to 27-20, maybe towards the end, maybe even that's the third quarter score, into the third quarter. So you've got an exciting finish coming up, or so it seems, and this is when Kansas City pulls away. Okay, so this is when they get a couple more touchdowns, and so yeah, that's going to be a 14-point fourth quarter for Kansas City. They'll just have the wheels turning. They'll get it to 14 more points. The Tampa Bay will pull to within 7 again, or they'll be down 21. They'll pull to within 14. I'm not sure, but you won't see any 2-point conversion attempts in this game. I mean, maybe you will, but based on my predictions, they won't need to. Tampa Bay gets that late touchdown, and you have a final score of Kansas City Chiefs 41. Yeah, okay. So Kansas City Chiefs 41, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27. So a 2-touchdown victory for the Chiefs as they win their 3rd Super Bowl title and the 2nd in the Mahomes-Reed era, possibly more to come. So we will have Mahomes will win his 2nd title. Okay, so he will join a pretty big group of quarterbacks that have 2. Okay, that being he will join Bart Starr, Bob Greasy, Jim Plunkett, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, John Elway, Ben Roethlisberger. I know Phil Simms got 2, but he only 1 as a starter, so that doesn't count. I'm trying to think of someone that I left out. I think I got everybody. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got everybody there with the starting QBs with only 2, with exactly 2 rings. All of those are in the Hall of Fame except for Plunkett and Eli. Peyton should be announced tomorrow as going in, or today, whenever this video is uploaded. Saturday is when he will be announced as an inductee to Canton. And if Mahomes wins a 3rd next year or sometime in the future, he will join a very select group, which would be Troy Aikman only, who has 3, and he's also in the Hall of Fame. Then you start getting into the 2 with 4, Bradshaw and Montana, and then of course Tom Brady with 6. Okay, I missed one. Roger Staubach. I didn't Google it. It came to me. Roger Staubach got 2 as a starter, so don't want to forget him. Free Jack. So as far as coaches, Andy Reid will have his 2nd, which will have him join the likes of Vince Lombardi, Don Shula, Tom Landry, Mike Shanahan, Jimmy Johnson, Tom Coughlin, Bill Parcells. Okay, I think that's it. I think I got everybody there. Okay, another one. Tom Flores. Sorry about that, Darth. Almost forgot him. Didn't Google it. Okay. So yeah, that's a pretty select group. Now, with Tom Brady, yeah, it's warming up out here. I'm shedding clothes. Tom Brady will, Sunday night, finally capture his elusive, infamous loss. So he will finally run down Sharks boy Jim Kelly as the only 2 starting quarterbacks to lose 4 Super Bowls. I guess if you get there that many times, you're bound to stockpile some losses. So he will definitely go down in history with the golden sombrero of Super Bowl losses. All right, so once again, your final: Kansas City 41, Tampa Bay 27. Your most valuable player will be Patrick Mahomes, who wins his 2nd straight MVP. He will actually earn it this time, unlike last year, and he will join the very select group of players that have exactly 2 Super Bowl MVPs, that being Bart Starr, Terry Bradshaw, Eli Manning. I think that's it, boys. I'm pretty sure that is it. That's a very small group. So he will join that group Sunday. And of course you have, ahead of that, you have Montana with 3 and Brady with 4. So that will definitely be an amazing accomplishment Sunday night. All right, so hope you guys, trying to think if there's anything else that I left out, but that's pretty much covers most of it. And hope you guys enjoy, stay safe, don't drink too much, duck, don't eat too much, and maybe show you guys some video of food, whatever that might be, and drive safely, gamble responsibly, and hope it's a great evening in Tampa. And so until then, like I say, peace out. See you guys later.